Hey, what's going on? I am back here again with another episode of Craven Some Raven. Um, if I ever sound out of breath or you hear some wind, it's because I hiked up on the top of the mountain, so I'm at a higher elevation. Uh, Sometimes it gets windy up here. I tried to find a spot behind some rocks tucked away, but all in all, looking down at the city, beautiful views, trying to catch a tan with the sun coming down. It's like 60 degrees here right now, so you Marylanders can be jealous. Just looking down at the city. It's just so loud. It's like a loud hum. You can't really hear it when you're down there, but up here you can just hear the city. It's kind of crazy, just seeing the world. Everything's kind of in this one area. You can't really see the drama or all the people worried about stuff. It's nice to get away. Nice to come up on a mountain and talk some Ravens. Because in this episode, I'm going to be talking Cj Mosley. If you can't tell by the title, I'm probably going to name it Cj Mosley. Because it was reported that they will not franchise tag him. I didn't really think they would, just because $15 million, that's quite a bit for an inside linebacker. But if they didn't do the franchise tag, I thought maybe that's because they're signing him to a deal. But normally before you would have heard about the contract, before the franchise tag kind of thing would have come up. Maybe they still will sign him to a big deal, but hearing that they're not going to franchise tag him and not hearing anything about updates, maybe like right after I post this, they'll come out with something. But as of right now, Cj Mosley is going to hit free agency, and if he does that, I don't see the Ravens being able to keep him. He's going to probably find that $15 million a year. I don't really see an inside linebacker taking that kind of money. That position just doesn't get enough production in today's NFL, because they're mostly, Mosley is mostly a run stuffer, and inside linebackers mostly run stuffers. That's why these converted DBs who become linebackers like Peanut, they're so successful in this league, because you got to be able to cover. And I really hope that the Ravens bring Cj Mosley back, because he is such a stud on our team. Brings a lot of leadership, and you can't ask more from a guy that you drafted. He went to 3 Pro Bowls in his 4 years here. Now, how can you have more production than that? What else? So who would we sign if we're not going to sign Mosley? I wish Cj Mosley the best, and I'm really hoping he's not asking for that $15 million. He might say oh, it's the inflation of the league, but is $12 million not enough for you to feed your family? Is that not enough to play for the Ravens, the team that drafted you? 25 other teams passed up on you. Yeah, I think he was picked 26. He was 26, 25. He was in the mid-20s. So all those teams that passed up on you, you're going to possibly get signed by one of them. And you're going to go to a team with tons of cap room, i.e. being terrible. They're terrible with their money. They have so much cap room because they're terrible. I don't know of any good teams that have a ton of cap room. I think the Colts are probably the best, but they already have their inside linebacker. And a lot is said about Cj Mosley. He can't cover. He can't do this. He can't do that. Please send me an email, comment on the video, let me know who is as good in the run game as Cj Mosley and can cover. Can any linebacker actually cover a running back or tight end out of the backfield? These guys are so quick and so fast, and their job is to react. Having to watch the pass and the run, it's damn near impossible. It's almost any time a linebacker gets his hand on the ball, it's more of a fluke, if anything. Please let me know who is the linebacker who's as good at stopping the run as Cj Mosley and can cover better than him. Because I don't think there's a player out there that can do that. Even if it is, it's so scheme based. The coaches have to kind of put the players in the right spot. And if it's just reacting, I don't think there's anybody better than Cj Mosley. That's why I really hope they bring him back, because he's such an excellent leader. He's such a quiet guy, humble dude. But I just wish they could come together on a deal. I'm hoping like in the next few hours, like by the time I even post this, or even before I do, because I got to get off the mountain and post it from my laptop. I'm really hoping that I see something that they're bringing him back. Even if it's more than I want, like if it's like 13, I'd be totally fine with that. A heavy, what they should do is like a heavy incentives based contract. Something where it's like, hey, like there's no guaranteed money, but there's like benchmarks. Like, hey, you get 20 tackles, you get $1 million. Like something where it's like super easy benchmarks to hit, because I don't think incentive money counts against the cap. I think it's only guaranteed money. So it's shocking I don't see more teams doing that. I could be wrong, so that's probably why, or there's might be some kind of rule against it. But as far as I know, that's the way it works. I should probably read up on that before I just go saying stuff. But, this is by the fans, for the fans. It's not supposed to be high knowledge IQ. It's just supposed to be, just me talking shit. Because this is what I would do anyways. It's just not enough Ravens fans for me to really talk to here in Albuquerque. So I got to climb up on the mountain and talk some Cj Mosley. That's what it is. If we don't bring him back, that would mean that I think Devin Bush would be a high likelihood that we draft him in the first round. I really liked what I saw from Kenny Young. We just saw that drop off. That could have been the rookie wall, but we'll have to see. There's nothing wrong with bringing in competition, but I like what I saw from Kenny Young. Peanut Owasu's really coming on strong, man. The way he punches that ball out is impressive. Yeah, I don't see that going away anytime soon. And he's a converted safety, so he is a little bit faster. And what I would like to see is, what I'd like to see is, instead of drafting maybe like a Devin Bush, someone who is a very good inside linebacker who would fill in for Cj Mosley, maybe we just don't need a Cj Mosley type on the team. Maybe we do go smaller like the rest of the NFL. And the thinking is maybe draft a safety and then kind of push Anthony Levine, use him more, because whenever he's on the field, he's usually making plays. I really like what I see from him whenever he's out there. It's just he just doesn't get out there as much as I would like. But my thinking is, if the way the offense was at the end of the season, the way they kept the ball, time of possession was key, like kept the defense fresh. And so it causes a lot of teams, if they go 2 drives without getting anything and we put up 2 scores, that causes teams to really kind of go in panic mode and have to throw. So if you upgrade the offense, make it super good running, like I've said before, I think they could beat the rushing record that's been there since 1978, held by the New England Patriots in 1978 at 3,165 yards. Yes, I remember that off the top of my head, because I'm going to keep that number in mind, because I think the new offense can break that. And so I think if you use that style, if your goal is to rush for the most yards in NFL history, that means you're going to have the ball a lot, and teams are going to be trying to score quickly on you. So you need to be fast in the backfield, light and fast, be able to cover, because they're going to be throwing the ball a whole lot against your defense. If they just don't have the ball that often, it's going to be tough. It's going to see who comes back on the Ravens defense, because we got a lot of guys. It might suck, but just let everyone walk. Get back on the compensatory pick formula that we were so good at but have shied away from in recent years, because we need guys who are band-aids for whatever reason. Let these guys walk, have a year, and then maybe next year we'll have 2, 3, 4 compensatory draft picks, and then next thing you know, we're able to bring in young guys and then keep letting guys walk and just get picks from those guys who leave, or the ability to trade them. Because the more swings at bat you get, the better. And as much as I would love Cj Mosley to be signed, that would put a lot on the cap. That would put a lot of stress on the cap, and it would kind of be a detriment to the team a little bit. You would shore up the team at that position. And he is entering his prime, as they say. But, he seems to always be banged up. like he'll get out of game, or he's always injured. He'll play, but it's like he's got a club on his hand, or he's got a brace on. That's just part of the position, but I'd like to see him not injured so much. And, who knows, if he goes to another team, I could totally see him just, what do you know, he's injured, and glad we didn't pay him. One of those things. And if Kenny Young ends up balling out like he did at the beginning of the year, it would seem like a victory for the Ravens. But, I as much as that would be a victory, when it comes to other players looking at the Ravens organization, players getting drafted, they might say, oh, man, I don't want to play for the Ravens, because even if you ball out, they ain't going to pay you, And if Cj Mosley, go get that money, go do your thing. But really, do you want a player who, instead of playing for the team that drafted him, play for them at $12 million? I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm just spitballing here. If you're not willing to play for them for $12 million and go somewhere else to be at $15 million, that says a lot about you. $12 million, that's small potatoes, I guess. That can only buy you so many Ferraris. At that point, if $3 million of like a $12 to $15 million range, that's small fucking potatoes, and that's just pettiness. Give me $1 million. Like, come on, man. I can make that spread so much. I don't need all that much money. Like, Mosley, what are you doing? Just be a team player, Because anywhere you go, if you command that type of money, that means they can't spend that money elsewhere. So, oh no, that might be it, Really hoping they keep him. But, there's positives and negatives to both. The positives, if he goes, forced to get younger, and then we have more cap room. For the future, so hopefully we can sign someone else, someone who is more of a team player, or more about the team and is willing to take less money, like Tavon Young. He probably, if he waited another year and he went to free agency, he probably could have been asking for $5 more a year, something crazy like that, just because corners, they get that kind of money, especially if they're productive. So, and the positives of him staying, you have that team leader, someone who's like, hey man, if you come out and ball for the Ravens, they're going to pay you. They're going to treat you well. And, you will be the guy in Baltimore. I imagine it feels pretty good if he walks around downtown Baltimore, everyone saying, hey, Mosley, hey, what's going on, buddy? You're the man. My wife wants to fuck you. Like, I don't know. But, oh no, that's going to do it. Either way this turns out, I'm going to look at the positives. Look at the positives on this. So with that being said, if you like this show, comment, subscribe, like, rate, all that fun stuff, or don't. Be a dick. Be that way. And if you have any questions, comments, concern, you can send me an email at csrpod@gmail.com. That's spelled csrpod@gmail.com. Also, if you really like the show and you want to donate to the show, I have a Patreon page at csrpod, spelled the same, and a Venmo account, which would probably be the best, because then I can get a legit mic. I'm not just using my iPhone headphones. I mean, the sound quality sounds alright. But, I like something to sound a little bit cleaner, pick up not so much background noise. If I take it out on the mountain and it's a little bit windier than it is today, you won't hear anything. So my Venmo is at CSRPod, spelled the same, CSRPOD. And I think that's going to do it. I don't have any planned episodes. I'll have to come up with something. Maybe I just did my mock. Maybe once some more news comes out, I'll talk maybe around the league stuff, all the other franchise tag guys, looking at undrafted or free agents that maybe I could see the Ravens signing, even though I don't think they should. Just look league wide, and then maybe closer after the draft. I'll definitely go over the draft and have opinions and probably break down, do an episode for each player maybe. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like really break down, do a ton of research. Real short, like maybe 10 or less minute episodes about each draft pick. And hopefully we bring in 12 guys. Just take swings at the bat, trade back, Eric. Do it, Eric DaCosta. Trade back and get some guys. And then maybe I'll go into, like, I do a lot of fantasy football. This past year was terrible. I just, week to week, I had a bunch of good players. It's just week to week, I just made the wrong decisions, Like, anytime the players zigged, I zagged. So it was like, God damn it, are you fucking kidding me? Like, the week I picked these guys to play for me, they don't do anything. And then the next week, so I'm like, oh, I'll bench them because they didn't do anything last week, and then they go off. And it's like, they're facing better competition. Why'd they do better? But, I'll go into that. Maybe my philosophies about that. Just overall, anything Ravens I will cover. So that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for listening, all 5 of you. And have a good rest of your day. Enjoy life. Hey, so by the time I got down to my vehicle, I looked at my Instagram and basically just looked at my phone. And of course, the Ravens came out with some information or some breaking news that Eric Weddle is going to be released by the Ravens. As it pertains to Cj Mosley, I think maybe they're going to use that money for Cj Mosley, hopefully. Like, it apparently frees up a little over $7 million. But I'm going to upload this episode and then talk more about Eric Weddle right after this. So these 2 episodes will come in back to back. Just release a ton of content as the news breaks. But hopefully this move comes as a way to free up more money for Cj Mosley. Hopefully. I don't know if that's what it'll be, but I'm hoping so. So I guess, like I said before, it's been a while because I got to my car, did that, but I ended up going to the bar and like having a few drinks, and then just got home, and then now I'm recording that. So I'm gonna record a Eric Weddle episode, and then that'll probably do it for at least. Probably in like 2 days I'll come out with another episode. So thank you and have a great day.